If you ever find yourself wandering through the heart of Dublin, you'll feel a special kind of energy. It's a city alive with stories, music, and history on every corner. And honestly, no story is more woven into the fabric of Dublin than that of Molly Malone. She is more than just a name. She is the spirit of the city itself. To the people of Dublin, and to visitors from all over the world, Molly represents the working-class soul of Ireland. She's a symbol of the everyday struggles and the enduring cheerfulness of the Irish people. Her tale is one of hard work, beauty, and a life cut tragically short. Molly Malone is a figure that every Dubliner knows, almost as if she were a member of their own family. The legend paints a picture of a young woman, a fishmonger by trade, who was as beautiful as she was hardworking. She would spend her days pushing her wheelbarrow through the city's broad and narrow streets. Imagine her calling out, "Cockles and mussels, alive, alive." Oh. Her voice would have echoed through the bustling lanes, a familiar sound to all who lived and worked there. She was a part of the city's daily rhythm, a vibrant presence in a Dublin of a bygone era. Her story connects us directly to a Dublin of the past. It's a city that was tougher, grittier, but also full of character. Molly wasn't a queen or a noble lady, she was one of the common folk. And that's precisely why she is so loved. She represents the resilience and spirit of ordinary people who have shaped Dublin over the centuries. When you hear her name, you don't just think of a statue or a song. You think of the countless generations of Dubliners who have walked these same streets, living their lives with grit and a bit of good humor, just like Molly. This connection to the everyday person is what makes her story so powerful and enduring. She is not a distant historical figure locked away in a dusty book. Instead, she feels alive in the city's culture. Her presence is felt in the pubs where her song is sung with gusto, on the streets where vendors still sell their wares, and in the hearts of the people, who proudly claim her as their own. Molly Malone is Dublin's sweetheart, a timeless icon who reminds us of the city's humble roots and its unbreakable spirit. Her legend gives Dublin a warmth and a personality that is truly unique. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more content like this. The legend of Molly Malone is a classic Irish tale, filled with both charm and sorrow. The story goes that Molly was a woman of two lives. By day, she was the respectable fishmonger selling her fresh catch from her barrow. Her cry of cockles and mussels, alive, alive, oh, was a familiar and welcome sound. But you know, some versions of the tale whisper that by night, Molly sold more than just seafood. She was a woman of the evening, a part-time courtesan, doing what she needed to do to survive in the harsh reality of 17th century Dublin. This duality makes her character even more compelling and human. Tragedy is at the heart of Molly's story. As the legend tells it, she was a young woman in the prime of her life when she fell ill. A sudden fever swept through the city, and poor Molly was one of its victims. She died young, her vibrant voice silenced forever. Her death left a void in the streets where she was once such a familiar sight. The barrow she pushed, once a symbol of her lively trade, now stood empty. The story of her early death adds a layer of sadness to her legend, making her a figure of sympathy and remembrance for all who hear her tale. But in Dublin, a good story never truly ends with death. It's said that Molly's spirit was too strong to simply fade away. Her ghost, they say, still wanders the streets of her beloved city. On dark and quiet nights, some people claim you can still see her spectral figure pushing her ghostly wheelbarrow through the old cobbled lanes. They say you can almost hear a faint ethereal echo of her famous cry, cockles and mussels, alive, alive. Oh, it's a hauntingly beautiful idea that Molly's spirit is forever tied to the city she loved. This ghost story has become an essential part of Dublin's folklore. It transforms Molly from a historical figure into a timeless, supernatural presence. The idea that her ghost continues her daily rounds adds a touch of magic and mystery to the city's atmosphere. It's a tale that sends a little shiver down your spine, but it's also comforting in a way. It suggests that the spirit of Dublin's past is never truly gone. Molly Malone, even as a ghost, remains a faithful and eternal resident of the city, forever pushing her barrow through streets broad and narrow. So, was Molly Malone a real person? This is a question that has sparked a great deal of debate among Dubliners and historians for years. For many, she is as real as the River Liffey that flows through the city. They believe in her story with a passion that is truly Irish. There's even a theory that points to a specific Molly Malone, Records from a church in Dublin show that a Molly Malone died on June 13, 1699. This date has been eagerly embraced by those who want to believe in her existence. It gives a tangible anchor to the legend. This potential historical evidence has given rise to an annual celebration. June 13th is now officially celebrated as Molly Malone Day in Dublin. On this day, the city pays tribute to its most famous fishmonger. It's a day filled with music, storytelling, and a great sense of local pride. The idea that a real woman named Molly Malone lived and died in Dublin makes the legend feel much more personal and significant. It bridges the gap between folklore and history, making her story feel grounded in a reality that you can almost touch. However, many historians are not so sure. They argue that Molly and Malone were incredibly common names in Ireland during that time. It's very possible that the Molly Malone from the church records is just a coincidence. These skeptics suggest that she is more likely a composite character, a figure created to represent all the hard-working women of Dublin's past. They believe the song came first, and the story of a specific person named Molly Malone was built around it later. There is no concrete historical evidence that definitively links the woman in the song to a real fishmonger. Ultimately, whether she was a real person or a product of folklore doesn't seem to matter all that much to the people who love her. The debate itself is part of the fun. It adds to her mystery and keeps her story alive. Molly Malone exists in a fascinating space between fact and fiction. She is a legend that feels real, and that's what gives her such enduring power. Her story allows us to connect with the past in a way that dry historical facts never could. She is the spirit of Dublin, and in that sense, she is very real indeed. The main reason Molly Malone is so famous today is because of a song. Sweet Molly Malone, also known as Cockles and Mussels, is a tune that you will hear everywhere in Dublin. It's sung in pubs, played by street musicians, and taught to children in schools. The song tells her whole story. Her life as a fishmonger, her beautiful voice, her untimely death, and her ghostly return. The chorus, with its catchy "Alive, alive, oh" refrain, is incredibly easy to sing along to. It has become the unofficial anthem of Dublin, a song that unites the city in a shared sense of identity and heritage. In 1988, Dublin was celebrating its millennium, 1,000 years of history. To mark the occasion, the city decided to give its most famous daughter a permanent home. A beautiful bronze statue of Molly Malone was created by the Irish sculptor Jean Reinhardt. It was placed on Grafton Street, one of Dublin's busiest shopping areas. The statue depicts Molly, in her traditional 17th century dress, standing proudly with her wheelbarrow. It quickly became one of the city's most beloved landmarks. Locals and tourists alike flocked to see it, take photos, and pay their respects. The statue is affectionately known by Dubliners by a few cheeky nicknames, including the Tart with the Cart. This playful name references the part of her legend that suggests she was a woman of the night. Far from being an insult, it's a sign of the city's deep affection for her. The statue isn't just a piece of art, it's an interactive part of the city. It has become a popular meeting spot and a symbol of Dublin's welcoming and humorous nature. The sculpture brings Molly's story to life in a tangible way, allowing people to connect with her legend directly. Today, Molly Malone's influence is as strong as ever. She is a cultural icon who represents the heart and soul of Dublin. Her story, a blend of hard work, tragedy, and resilience, continues to fascinate people from all walks of life. She reminds us of the importance of remembering the ordinary people who are the true foundation of any great city. Whether you believe she was real or not, there is no denying her impact. Molly Malone is a testament to the power of a good story and a great song, a timeless legend who will forever be Dublin's own.